Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do a little quick get ready with me while I talk about some stuff that's been on my mind, nothing too crazy. It's probably just gonna be the makeup I wear when I go to work, really light, really nothing crazy at all. So I'm just gonna clip these pieces out of the way. My hair's hella long right now, so I already have that back there. I'm gonna start off with some moisturizer. I didn't realize how important it is to fix the skin barrier of your skin, but I recently bought this moisturizer. It's just from Target. At first I was like, oh, I don't really notice a difference, but after using the whole bottle I really do notice a difference in my skin, and I don't think I will go back to a moisturizer that doesn't target your skin barrier anymore. So I'm just gonna moisturize. I'm having a little bit of hormonal breakouts right now, to be honest with you, but other than that I'm pretty happy with how my skin is going. So we have moisturizer on. Oh wait, I forgot chapstick. Then I'm gonna go in with some sunscreen. I heard you're supposed to use like 2 lines on your fingers, and that's supposed to be the amount of sunscreen you use on your face. So if you use less than that, you're actually using too little. So you want to make sure to use at least 2 to 3 lines of your sunscreen. And if I keep looking to the side, I'm sorry about that. I do have my mirror right here as usual. I'm not forgetting my eyelids. Even though I'm probably not going to be in the sun too much, if I'm honest with you. Now that we have that, I'm just going to put on my primer. I've really been enjoying this Patrick Star one size primer. I've noticed that when I use a pore filling primers, I feel like they tend to actually clog my pores and make them bigger. I really do like something that still blurs my pores but I don't feel like it's, I guess, clogging my pores, and I don't feel like the Patrick Star one does that. So I put on moisturizer, sunscreen, and my primer so far, and I'm actually going to go in with 2 concealers just because I don't have my correct shade. It's just going to be the e.l.f. Camel Concealer, the one's satin, one's matte. So one's too dark and one's too light. So typically I just use the darker one, and I put it, to be honest, kind of all over. I know this looks like a lot, but I'm using this instead of foundation, so when I blend it all out, it's actually not going to be that much. And then on the parts that I want to highlight, I'm going to use the one that's actually too light for my skin, and I'm just going to go over that dark concealer that I initially put down, so right there and right there. So that's what that's looking like right now. I'm just gonna blend this out now. So recently I feel like I've kind of been having like, let me see if I can get this out of the way. Lately I feel like I've kind of been having sort of existential crisis, if we want to call it that. I've been pretty sad about, I guess, where my career is, and seeing the cost of living is just really getting to me, to be honest with you. I know I make a decent amount of money. I wouldn't say I'm super well off. I do live with some housemates to be able to afford the rent I do, and I know there are people, I guess, who are worse off than I am, but I guess just looking at myself and not really comparing myself to other people per se, it just kind of makes me sad that if I were by myself, I wouldn't be able to afford a decent place to live, and sometimes I do like to splurge on my pets, and I do have one dog and one cat, and so I do have to buy separate things for the both of them, and sometimes that can add up. And with all those expenses as well as personal expenses, sometimes I do get overwhelmed with all of that. So it's just more so I'm not happy with, I guess, where, like I mentioned, where my life is for myself. Not really, again, comparing myself to other people. That's where my skin is now with the concealer. I feel like there are some spots that I do want to cover up a tiny bit more, but I think this looks pretty good so far. It's also kind of crazy to see how your makeup preferences change as you get older, because I feel like when I was younger I was sort of a full coverage girly, and now I feel like I just want to look more natural. And obviously you can tell I have makeup on, but I don't want to cover all of my blemishes all the way. Like if there are some imperfections sticking out, I will just kind of let them be. Like I do have some acne right here from my period coming up, like I mentioned. And I feel like I'm fine with that coverage there. I'm going in with my Chanel bronzer. I'm just gonna put a little. To be honest, I have been enjoying cream products a lot more than just powder products, especially when it comes to, I guess, my blush and my bronzer lately. So I mainly use it to just, I guess, bronze, not really to contour anything. So I finally was able to get my hands on the Charlotte Tilbury blush, the one in, what was it, Pinkasm, I believe, and I honestly do not feel like it's worth it. It is super pretty, don't get me wrong, but it was like $40, and when I got it, the tube seemed like it was half full. So I'm just gonna put that much, and then I'll blend this out with a stippling brush. So that's how we're looking so far with the blush on. It is really glowy, as you can see, but I do have combo oily skin, so I am going to set part of my face with some powder. And for today I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I just feel like the lightness of it helps me to counteract the darkness of my foundation sometimes, and to brighten everything up a tiny bit. But I'm mainly going to place this on my T-zones, not really too much, and I wouldn't necessarily say I'm baking, just because I'm going to place this and I'm going to brush it off immediately. And then as well as the under eyes to brighten. Let's brush everything off really quick. I do want to still keep with some of that glowiness. I don't want all of that to be gone. So that's what that looks like. Okay, so after I finish with my face, I usually like to go in with my eyebrows. Actually, let me show you this brow gel, because I feel like no one talks about this, but this brow gel is actually so good. I used to use the NYX, I forgot what it's called, but it's like the glue one. Hold on, I do have that one. Let me check. Oh, the brow glue. I used to use this one, and then I was like, oh, let me try this, because I was like, oh, it's tinted. Hopefully it's kind of similar to the brow gel, but with the tint. And I actually like this so much better. I used it on my friend, and I believe she typically says she doesn't like eyebrow gel, and she really liked this one as well. So I'm gonna first go in and coat my brows with this. I go a little heavy-handed with this, to be honest, because I feel like most eyebrow gels, they don't stick up the whole day for me. So for me to really get that hold on there, I do need to be generous with the amount. Even with the brow glue, that one wouldn't stay on me. So I would eventually have to go in the middle of the day to kind of touch it up. But yeah, you can kind of tell how much fuller this brow is already compared to this brow. I just love this. So I have the eyebrow gel in, and then I usually like really feathery brows, so I just go in with a brow pen to fill in any places that I feel like need to be a little bit thicker. So I do have to get really close to my mirror for this, so sorry about that. So I am going to bring this closer, and then I usually I feel like everyone's brows are going to be different for this step, but for me personally, my sparse areas would be, I guess, the tip of the brow. And I do need to get a new brow pen. I feel like brow pens are one of those things that you can't keep forever, even if there is still, I guess, product coming out, just because I feel like the longer that you keep brow pens specifically, they do, I guess, start to bleed a little and start to draw thicker lines as the longer you keep them. Sorry, that was out of focus. Let me see. So I already did that brow. Let me do this one. I filled in the tip of this one already as well. I swear I usually don't take the song, but I think just because I'm filming, it is taking me a little bit longer, but usually I am a lot quicker with this, and I just like to add some eyeshadow for some definition. Not too much, nothing crazy as well. But yeah, going back to the topic I was on earlier, I just get anxiety some days, and I feel like I don't have the life I envisioned for myself. When I was younger, I do sort of feel like I'm a failure, and that also it gets at me too. It's just in my mindset, I do feel partially a failure, and I've been eating up at me so much that I've been thinking about changing my careers, but I'm not fully set on what I want to do, just because there's so many different career changes that I could go into. I don't mind schooling, but I also don't want to, I guess, have to go through like 4 or 8 years of schooling to change my career. Yeah, I have a couple ideas of what I want to maybe pursue, or I guess what my next step would be, but I'm still not 100% certain, I guess. Then I do have, I guess, a coworker situation that I'm dealing with at work, and that is also, I guess, adding to how I'm feeling about my job. But yeah, there's so much at work that I'm dealing with right now, and the primary of that is going to be my coworker, and he does make I guess going into work a little dreadful. I think just with everything I am, I guess, feeling a little depressed. It is a little bit hard to get out of bed in the morning some days, especially on the days that I have to work. I feel like I get to work pretty late sometimes, and it is because of how I've been feeling, and I don't really know what to do to get out of this. I feel like I do try my best to not think about the bad thoughts that I do have in my head and in my mind, and it does work for the most part, but it just kind of leaves me feeling empty and sad because I'm trying to keep myself busy and I'm trying to, I guess, not think of those thoughts, but obviously I'm still gonna have, I guess, those underlying feelings of the thoughts I'm feeling. So I'm not letting my thoughts consume me, but at the same time I feel like I am. I go to a lippy, still gonna be Soar lip liner from MAC, and I'm just gonna put that on instead of lipstick. I usually just put on lip liner. I don't really do any crazy overlining, but I do like the look of, I guess, no cupid's bow. So I just kind of round that out, and that makes my lips look fuller, but other than that I don't really overline them. I feel like my lips have been extra dry lately. I'm not sure why. I'm typically not a gloss girl, but because my lips have been kind of dry, I usually use this Just a Tint, I guess, lip balm from ColourPop, and I just dab that in the middle just to give my lips a little bit of hydration. This is the finished look. Like I mentioned, nothing too crazy, and just something simple for work. If you watched all the way here, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and let me know if you have anything you want me to film down below in the comments. I'll see you next time.